can have something like that done at the drop of a hat.
Well, Jim, I want to thank you very much for this interview. Is there anything else that you want to say before we tune this out?
I'm a licensed land surveyor with the state of Florida. I worked hard to get my license. I want to get back into this field effectively. And I know that if I was in charge of any county or government survey division, I would not allow this thing to happen. The type of corruption I worked underneath was ignored by all employees, even those articulate enough as I was to see what was going on, for fear of their jobs. And rightly so. I was told not to make waves. I did. Look what happened to me. I had people I worked with that had been there 35 years that were retiring and told me, Jim, I'd love to stick up for you on this, but quote unquote, I'm afraid they'll mess up my retirement if I come forward and are willing to testify as you are. You've opened a big can of worms. These people have been in charge for a long time. You're not going to make a difference. It's always been that way. It's always continued to be that way. I, being a good Christian, know in my heart I did the right thing. It has cost me a great deal. But hopefully, with God's help, something will eventually be done. There have been times in the past when Frank Marquis, a former county administrator, got tired of the commissioners underneath him at that time passing around the cigar box at the end of the commission meetings after the public left, divvying up the money that they were charging contractors to get the jobs. And I even met contractors that had to pay these bribes in order to get their jobs in Pinellas County. And he exposed this years ago when he was county administrator. And things were done. And I know that people can make a difference. Now, he was at the top, and he did make a difference. Well, that's been years ago. And I think over the years, it has got back to the way it was back then. In fact, for what I have experienced working under these people, I know the extent of what they're doing and have done. Now, I've been with Pinellas County for a few years, but I know that the same people are still there. And I have to wonder if Stephen Spratt, now that he is no longer the county administrator, has ever thought back, you know, I probably should have done something when Jim Risman came to me years ago to stop what was going on. I'd still be county administrator, and I'd have the taxpayers' respect. But because of the Jim Smith property appraiser land deal, him and Susan Cerruti, the county attorney, are now gone. If he had taken the bull by the horns when I came to him, hoping he was an honest man, and finding out later, as I probably already knew, that he was fully aware of what was going on before I came to him, things would be different. He would have made a difference. And now he became the scapegoat for what the commissioners are doing. Did he have control over what Jim Smith and the commissioners were doing with that land deal? No, but he could have stopped it. He didn't, and it cost him his position as county administrator, as it did cost Susan Cerruti her job as county attorney. So, you know, I have to feel in my heart, yeah, he had an opportunity. I came to him willing to stand by him, even though he didn't even need me, saying, look, here's what's going on. So I just wonder now what he's going to do, who's going to hire him. I know if I was in charge of a county elsewhere, I wouldn't want a county administrator that was involved in that type of corruption. But I'm sure he'll land somewhere, land on his feet.
James, let me ask you this. Do you have any fear, for your life of exposing what's going on here?
Absolutely. These two sheriffs that came to visit me after I got out of the hospital made it very clear that I made very powerful enemies. I am not afraid of the truth. I'm not afraid of anybody. But yeah, if I have the ability and the help to bring this to the forefront, these people are worth a lot of money. They're making a lot of money. They're very secure and very powerful. And if the truth comes out and they feel me as a threat. I know that because of what they've already had happen to me, with their extent to abuse the power here, it would be very hard for me to get through this live. I would need some form of protection. But I'm willing to testify and bring forward any information I can, because this has gone on long enough.
Yeah.
I know there's people in Pinellas County, no matter how powerful they are, would not have enough power to stop the governor if he chose to stop what was going on here. And I'm sure if Governor Chris knew what has gone on during my time as employment in Pinellas County, and whatever else has gone on since I haven't been able to work there, I'm sure he would want to do something about it. I don't know the man personally, but something tells me he's an honest man. And as a good politician, which I know he is, I respect his political ability, I know he could do well by stopping this, and it would be to the benefit of his administration to bring this to the forefront. It would help the rest of the taxpayers in Florida, not only those in Pinellas County, realize that this man is doing what needs to be done when it comes to matters such as this.
I totally agree, Jim. I want to thank you for having the courage to speak out, and to you're actually representing the people of Pinellas County in their best interest. And so I just thank you for this interview, and we'll just see what we can get done. So,
I appreciate you taking time to listen to me and to film this. I hope people that have the ability to truly get something done about this see this tape. And I'll be willing to speak to anybody that has the ability to do something about this.
Okay. Well, thank you, Jim.